All right, folks, welcome back. It's time for our next 6.5 Creedmoor video. And the bullet for today is the 140 grain Speer Gold Dot. These haven't been on the market very long, and this will be my first experience with them. They are a bonded bullet, so I'm expecting these guys to hold together really well, and I'm planning to shoot a couple of them into some ballistic gel in today's video as well. So that's the plan. Shoot a few of them for accuracy, and then shoot a couple into some gel to see how they expand. Now, the powder for today's video is going to be Alliant Reloder 16. Now, the good thing about these Speer Gold Dot rifle bullets is Speer has got load data on their website. And it's some pretty good load data too, right? Like, they hit lots of powders that I like. Even in the Alliant Reloder series, where we're trying 16 today and we've shot 17, they've also got 19, Reloder 23, and Reloder 26, along with plenty of Hodgdon and IMR powders as well. So I really like this Speer load data. They show a max charge with Reloder 16 of 42.9 grains. And then just to double check things, I went over to the Alliant website, looked on their Reloder 16 load data. They've got data for 4 different 140 grain bullets, and the max charges range from 42.4 up to 43.8. So the 42.9 grain number that Speer shows as max seems pretty reasonable. So I want to shoot up to that guy today. 42.9 grains is going to be our max charge. We'll do 0.4 of a grain increments, which puts us starting at 41.3. Now, like our last video, we're just shooting one powder today because we've got 2 guns. We're going to shoot this both in my Thompson Center Compass bolt action rifle and also from my AR-10. Now, the overall lengths with this guy, in the Thompson Center Compass, the maximum overall length to touch the lands of the rifling is 2.920. The Speer load data recommends 2.7, which is kind of weird. Like, that seems super short. It seems unnecessarily short. I don't know. Here's what I want to do. I want to shoot 2.9 inches. That'll give us about 20 thousandths of jump to the lands. There's plenty of bullet down into the neck of the case, so I'm not worried about that. So that's the plan in the Thompson Center Compass. In my Ballistic Advantage AR-10 barrel, I found a max overall length of 2.865. We can shoot up to about 2.810 in our Magpul magazine, so that's what we're going to shoot. We're going to shoot 2.810 for the AR-10, and that's about 55 thousandths of jump in that gun. So that's the plan. 2.9 for the Compass, 2.810 for the AR-10. Both of those numbers will fit in the magazines for those guns. We are shooting CCI number 41 primers, these guys right here. And for brass, just like the last video, the Thompson Center Compass is going to be using Peterson small primer brass, and the AR-10 will be using Starline small primer brass. Our brass is fully prepped and ready to go. The Peterson is still new stuff. Got the primers installed, they're all resized and ready for powder and bullet. So I'm going to start weighing powder. Okay, so I don't want to say I'm worried, but I'm maybe just a little bit concerned, perhaps. I've got my charges weighed out, and the bullets are just really not sitting down in these cases at all. Like, these bullets do have a very, 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 very small boat tail. It's almost like a little rebated boat tail. And it's not one to sit down in a case like a boat tail normally does. So what I'm concerned about here on these first few rounds, as we get them seated, are we going to have any problems with scrapage? Because these Gold Dot bullets, I don't know what the hell they're made out of. I mean, but it's not a standard jacket, right? It's a different coloring. So I don't know, maybe the alloy is going to be soft. I don't know. But we'll try and seat these first couple here. And if I start scraping up a bunch of copper, these are well chamfered, right? I've got a chamfer on the inside of the case mouth. So they should have a smooth path in. But if we're still getting some scrapage, I might pull out a universal flaring die and flare the brass a little, just the tiniest little bit, to help these guys get started. I don't know. Let's find out whether it's going to be a problem. I am using Hornady custom grade dies, and I found a seating stem that fits this bullet pretty well. So this guy's just getting started. It's down in there just a touch. Let's see how much is it down in there? Yep, just barely. But I didn't see any copper getting dug up. Okay, good. Let's take it down another 100. Let's take it down another 100 thousandths. Still feels good. Yeah, nothing to freak out about here. I'm worrying over nothing. All right, so these first 5 I'm seating are the ones that are going into the ballistics gel. So I'm going to seat these at 2.810 inches. Right now we're at 2.903. So let me go down 90 thousandths. And seat that. And we're at 2.815. Good. So we're 5 thousandths long when measuring this way. Let's go to the bullet comparator. Our target number with the bullet comparator is 2.266. And we're reading about 2.269, 2.268. So we're about 3 thousandths off when measuring with the comparator. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and go down 3 thousandths, and then I'll seat a couple more of these guys. See how that, yeah, it didn't feel weird at all when I was seating. I'm not seeing any copper get dragged up there. So good. Let's see what our cartridge base to ogive number is. 2.263. 2.266 was our target. Let me seat the rest of these and we'll compare all 5 numbers. All right, there's the 5th one. 2.266. Next one's 2.266. 2.265. 2.264. And yeah, and this one's 2.263. So these bullets showing maybe just a little bit more variation from cartridge base to ogive than the normal jacketed bullets we normally shoot. So let's seat a couple more with that exact same load, and we'll get numbers on 5 more of them. All right, here we go with 5 more. 2.266, 2.268, 2.267, 2.266, and 2.267. So a little bit more wiggle room with this bullet than a lot of others we test. So I think we'll just need to keep an eye on it. If these guys aren't grouping well enough for us, then maybe some bullet sorting. We could try sorting these bullets on bullet-based ogive measurement and see if maybe that made things a little bit more consistent. I don't know. I don't want to make up a problem when there really isn't one, but it's just something to keep in the back of our mind. So I think that's it, folks. Pretty straightforward on the bullet seating. I haven't noticed the first bit of copper scrapage, so I think we're in good shape there. So let's get out on the range and see if they'll shoot. All right, folks, we got a target at 100 yards. The dots are 1 inch in diameter. We're going to start out with the Thompson center compass at the longer overall length of 2.9 inches. I am shooting with my Silencer Co. Omega suppressor and magneto speed chronograph on there. This gun generally shoots pretty well in this configuration, so let's see. 41.3 grains is first. Our first piece of brass looks pretty good. A little bit of a cratered primer, which is normal for this gun, but otherwise looks pretty good. Velocity 2665. All right, so that's a pretty good looking first group. 6.1 feet per second standard deviation is a good first sign. And pretty good group. Next up is 41.7 grains. All right, that's not a bad group. And of course, the battery in my chronograph has decided to die. I've been using the CR123 batteries. Yeah, those guys right there in this magneto speed chronograph, and they last about 100 years. I haven't changed these in like a year and a half. But you can also use a 9-volt. So let me go in and see if I can find myself a 9-volt battery to get us through the rest of this video. Okay, so I got a fresh 9-volt battery, which will get me by until I could get some more CR123 batteries. So let's see how many readings we actually got from that last charge weight. We only got 2, but it was 2686, which looks just about right with a 4.2 feet per second standard deviation. All right, moving on. 42.1 grains is next. Let's see if these guys will group. All right, folks, 2,708 feet per second, and a really nice group. I tell you what, this Reloder 16 powder is really impressing me here to start out with. Our last video with the 130 grain Sierra Game Changer, lots and lots of single-digit standard deviations. That's good stuff, and if it keeps it up, Reloder 16 is going to join my list of favorite powders. There's no doubt about it. All right, moving on. 42.5 grains. All right, there's a good group. So that's 2732. Our standard deviation bumped up a little bit there to 9.7, but still pretty darn impressive. And I think that's our best group so far. And a pretty darn good group. The brass looked just fine, so we're moving right along. 42.9 is last. Okay, so our group opened up a little bit, but it's hard to complain there. We got a couple of good groups. The pressure signs were okay throughout, and we had nothing but single-digit standard deviation numbers. That's good stuff, man. I like that sort of target. So let me get switched out to the AR-10. All right, so this is our Aero Precision AR-10, the M5E1 platform. Our barrel is a Ballistic Advantage. We're still shooting with the silencer co-suppressor, the magnetospeed chronograph. I just have a good feeling about this. I feel like the AR-10 is going to like this bullet. I don't know why. First up, 41.3 grains. Let's see how it does. All right, so that is an extremely good start. The brass looks great. The group looks great. Our velocity is 2632, which is lagging behind the compass by about 35 feet per second. That's kind of what we're coming to find is that the AR-10 just runs a little bit slower than the compass with most combinations. All right, moving on. 41.7 grains is next. Okay, so I must admit this bullet is impressing the heck out of me, because keep in mind, here with the AR-10, we're shooting the much shorter overall length, 2.810, where we were shooting 2.9 inches with the compass. It seems to be matching up really nicely with this gun and this powder. This just seems like a good combo. All right, next up, 42.1 grains. All right, yet another good group, another good single-digit standard deviation. Moving right along, 42.5. Okay, so that's a pretty ugly group, but it looks like we're going through a pretty drastic point of impact shift upward. Hopefully by the time we get to this next load, it'll be a tight group again, but it'll be high. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, last up, 42.9 grains. Okay, it doesn't feel like my trigger reset. Yeah, we definitely loaded the next round. I'm not sure what was going on there. The trigger felt weird. All right, so we seem to have just hit a bad node here on the top end with the AR-10, it seems like. And we broke our streak of single-digit standard deviation numbers. That sucks. But overall, pretty impressive stuff here, man. All right, let's get back to the bench. We'll probably do some gel testing on the way to the bench. All right, folks, I fired a couple of these guys into some ballistics gel. The video footage sucks, so we're just going to skip it. This is the result. Holy moly. Look at that. Just beautiful. Outstanding expansion. It splits into these 5 petals. You know, the bonded construction, so there's no separation of the lead core and the copper jacket. It's just really perfect. So the velocity on these 2 shots was right at a little over 2,700 feet per second, and the gel was about 10 yards away. Now, if you didn't see the other video I'm posting here right about the same time with the 62 grain 22 caliber version of this bullet, here are these cute little guys. Look at them. Very similar sort of performance, incredible expansion. These, like I said, these were 62 grains, and the final recovered weight was about 58 grains. So these only lost a couple grains. Let's weigh these guys real quick. Now, the penetration on these guys was about 23 inches of gel. I used the, I believe it's the 10% synthetic gel from Clear Ballistics. And our 22 caliber version got about 16 inches of penetration. These guys were about 23, which is kind of in the normal range for the other 6.5 Creedmoor bullets I've tested. So pretty close to normal. All right, so these are 140 grainers. Let's weigh one and find out. I will warn you, I wasn't very successful at getting the gel out of there, so we're going to have a little bit of gel weight. Okay, 133.3, and the other one weighs 143.2. I think this is the one that has the most amount of goopy gel left in there. I'm telling you, it just won't come out. Been trying to dig and pinch and get as much out of there as I can. It doesn't matter. This is super light, you know. Let's see what this hunk of gel weighs. Yeah, so that's 3/10 of a grain. So, you know, at most, maybe we got 2 grains of gel crap, 3 grains or something. So this one doesn't seem to have lost much of anything, you know, maybe just a grain or 2. But this one lost about 7 grains. And I was looking, it looks like this one petal here might have kind of split a little bit. So yeah, I don't know, somewhere along there we lost a couple grains, but still really excellent weight retention and pretty consistent performance. Like they both seem to have expanded about the same amount. Just really good stuff. These would be devastating on some deer. I'm telling you, just really excellent performance. All right, let's look at some brass. Honestly, I have absolutely nothing to show you here. Here's the max charge in the Peterson brass. This all looks great. Looks fantastic. Not even just a little bit to show you. And even the AR-10 behaved itself pretty well today. Here's some of the max charge with Reloader 16. Couple little swipes and some shiny spots. But I think I'm finally getting the gas dialed in just about right here in the Creedmoor upper. It's not that hard on the brass. It's really not. 308's been a much bigger challenge in the AR-10. 6.5 Creedmoor just behaves itself. So that's it. Nothing to see here. Okay, let's have a look at some groups. Top row is from the compass, and this is good shooting, man. Our worst group in the middle, 0.858 inches. Our best group right next to it at 0.404 inches. This bullet and my Thompson Center compass are getting along very well. This is good shooting. Reloader 16, pretty darn impressive here. Just outstanding standard deviation numbers, right? Very consistent velocities. And it really continued down to the next row with the AR-10. You know, our last 2 groups really opened up to over 1 inch, but up until that point, things were going pretty well. The middle group was our best at 0.654 inches. A bunch more pretty good standard deviation numbers. Like, it's all good. The max velocity with the Thompson Center compass was 2753, and the AR-10 was 2709. Those aren't bad. You know, that's pretty decent velocity. It's not exactly setting the world on fire. We can go a little faster with some other powders. and we might be able to get a little bit faster here with Reloader 16. We certainly didn't see any signs of pressure, and I think we got a little bit of case capacity left to work with. But the one thing we know for sure is we've got a really good bullet on our hands here. The price on these is not ridiculous, and also the 6.5 version is coming in boxes of 50. So I think the bullets are about 30 cents, so you should be able to get a box of 50 for about 15 bucks. So, you know, why not try a box of 50? Now on the other side, if you haven't watched the 22 caliber video, these shot awesome as well. So I can't wait to try more, more varieties. They've got 3 different weights. They've got a 55, a 62, and a 75 in 22 caliber. Unfortunately, right now, this is the only 6.5 millimeter weight. It'd be nice if they had something down in the 120, 123 grain range for the 6.5 Grendel. So if any of you guys have tried these yet, let me know your experience, because so far it's been nothing but good for me. The price is competitive. The gel performance was freaking amazing. It's coming right down to it. I need to load up a few for actual hunting, and I've been debating whether to use this or the Sierra Game Changer. I think I might end up going with this guy, but I think honestly they'd both do a great job. We're lucky, man. We got a lot of great options out there in the bullet market, but these Gold Dots have jumped pretty high on my list, and I've only shot 100 of them so far. So there will be more to come. This is too good of a bullet to just, test 1 or 2 videos and move on. We need to maybe dive in and really nail down a good load with this guy. So stay tuned for that, I guess. But for now, I think that's it, folks. So is that it? Have we talked about everything? I think we've talked about everything. Thanks for joining me. The next video is actually going to be the video for this 130 grain Sierra Game Changer. My original plan was to have this video done first, but it's just not quite done yet. It should be up within a day or 2. So earlier in this video, I talked like this video would already be out, but it's not. This one's coming out first. So look out for that one here, coming in the next day or 2, and that's about it. I'll see you guys next time.